This is one of the most, oh, it is just a big topic. Because what happens when we raise children correctly? Essentially, in this video, we're going to dive into the details, the nuances that are going to create you into either an amazing parent if you're already a parent, or just kind of give you a little bit of preparation in relationship to when you're around young animals, young children, anyone who's youthful and essentially still in tune with their inner child. There are plenty of adults that this will help you communicate better with and smoother with. So, can guarantee you stay to the end of this video, you're going to walk away with insight, with practical new tools in your belt that absolutely revolutionize your game in terms of communication and the way that you move through this world and what you create in others, the seeds that you sow metaphorically. So ultimately, it's, the children of this world are the, the fundamental change of humanity. Because if you, right, there are so many children, and my dad, he was raped as a kid. It's like such a crazy thing to go through as a kid. And what happens when we have children who are not traumatized by others, by parents, by the school system? You are gonna see that there's a beauty when the inner child doesn't have to work so hard to remain, to stay alive. And that is all founded upon what we do as elders in relationship to the youth. So, here, for example, leading by example. You've probably heard this quote, but children, they don't listen, they emulate. If you tell me tell me not to do something, I'm probably going to do it. Why? Because that's just how I am. I like to be a rascal. And a lot of children have that essence in them. So am I a child? Yeah, I definitely still have the inner child. Can I be a ruthless adult, practical, precise, honest, orderly? Of course I got that in my belt. You got to be able to dance. You got to be spontaneous and dynamic, unboxable. So as a good parent, I'm not a parent yet, but a good parent is going to be flexible. And the main foundation of flexibility is attention. If you're always distracted with your own worries, fears, stresses, goals, and ambitions and desires, you're not going to have that attention, that awareness, that real connection. You'll lack presence. And when you lack presence, the kid feels that. Energetically, unconsciously, that kid can feel the unseen because the inner child, the intuition is still bright. What happens is a lot of adults get so cut off from their intuition because the logical mind, the rational worldview, was the only thing that was strengthened as they grew up. No one kind of showed them, hey, let's play a little bit. Hey, let's be loose. Let's be spontaneous. Let's listen to the heart, the intuition. So when you're speaking, when you're around children, you have to understand that they're so much more intelligent than your logical mind would give them. Like, they're so much more intelligent than your logical mind will credit them, their age. Like a 4-year-old, a 5-year-old, the 8-year-old. They are aware, for the most part, unless they're glued to a screen, they're reading your tone of voice. They're reading your cadence of speech. They're reading all nonverbal communication, your posture, your facial expressions, your hand gestures, or your lack of. They're aware of all that. So what I am inviting you to consider is, how aware are you of all of that, moment to moment? Because as you bring that observation, that attention to the energy that you're creating via sometimes nonverbal cues and sometimes verbal, then you'll ultimately be a better leader for yourself. parenting, teaching, leading is all about your relationship to yourself and your own heart. You don't come into uh, a relationship with an animal or a child and with a motive, with a force, right? And this is where like real dog training is natural. It happens spontaneously. Like for me, my dogs, they're not perfectly trained. And I have one dog now, but over the years, I got one of my dogs to a point where I could always have her off leash pretty much. And my other dog, one very practical tip I'll give any dog owners right now is I found that since I didn't socialize them too much when they were young, they were a bit passive aggressive when they would meet other dogs. And something that cracked the code for me personally was whenever I would meet another dog, I would go and pet the other dog and have my dog on the leash. And when my dog saw that I was petting the other dog, something would click for them. They would understand that there isn't space to be immature or give the other animal attitude or growl. If I were to not pet that other dog, then my dog would be a little bit and be sassy. Not actually aggressive, but it may be perceived as aggression by the dog owner. So that's a very practical example, but it can come into play in relationship to how aware are you of what you're not doing, right? If you have fear in your heart, can you feel the fear the moment it arises and choose the intelligent movement to dissipate that fear? Because being strong, being free, being a leader isn't about having no emotion, which may feel weak. It's about observing that emotion and having the courage to dance through what you feel, even if you feel it, right? A real connected man can feel his emotions and also have the masculinity, the strength, the confidence to say, oh no, but I have the awareness that succumbing to that lower vibration isn't the movement. That's not the way to be right here in this moment. So maybe that helps you. Maybe that shines a little bit of light on things that you're not doing that you kind of knew you should be doing. And now this just reminds you of the wisdom you already knew. Because everything I say, I'm not telling you anything new. You're intelligent, you're strong, and you're powerful. And that's not like motivation. That's just a fact. Not trying to get you to believe it. I'm just kind of letting you hear that because maybe other people haven't said that to you. But that's the bottom line. And now what I encourage you to go do is dig that strength up yourself. Don't just, always need to listen to videos to feel good. It's important to listen to other people because humanity, we're a team and everyone has different skills, talents, and different ways of seeing the world. So when we dance together, I'm not your authority. You're your authority. We're just a team. Okay. So you know, be the best you possibly can because as the youth changes and we raise children and animals in a free manner, then they're not so caught in lower vibrations. That radiates, right? You raise, you lead, then that pebble ripples, the ocean ripples. We're all connected. But don't believe me when I say that. Go experience it by living and embodying the truth which is on your heart. Observe when you're disconnected from truth. Be honest about the role that you played, the thoughts that you had, the actions you did, which brought you into a place of disconnection. When you, oh, baby, you got the strength, though. You got the strength. So ultimately, thank you so much for listening. Share it with a friend if you know someone would enjoy listening to this. And if you're interested in working one-on-one, executing on any of the things I speak about in my videos, just check the link down below. And hey, let's go. So what I got.